So I'm sure this is the awkward moment seen around the world Wednesday night when Beyonce and Jay-Z attended the game 3 of the Warriors Toronto Raptors finals. Okay. So let me give you a little context on this. This is on the lady on the right. This is the wife of the Warriors owner, Joe Lacob. This is Nicole Curran. And she is basically seen leaning over talking to Jay-Z. And in that moment, Beyonce looked very, very uncomfortable. Now, I am Beyonce and Beyonce is me in situations like that when people lean over to talk to someone else. It just feels awkward. That's always very, very awkward for me, and I never care for it. They just happened to catch Beyonce in that moment looking uncomfortable. Okay? Now, let me give you a little background before the Beyhive went off, or before the Beyhive just lost their goddamn minds like they always do. Again, this is the wife of the billionaire Warriors owner, Joe Lacob. She had actually invited Beyonce and Jay-Z out several times before, and she was playing hostess. That's why she was sitting next to them, sitting so close to them. Okay, so because she invited them out, she was asking them if they wanted anything to drink. Beyonce asked for water. Jay-Z wanted a vodka soda. She asked if he wanted lime and all this other stuff. Because it was so loud in there and she couldn't hear what he was saying, she leaned over to talk to him. And of course, that's where the photos were caught in that moment, and the video was caught with her leaning over to Jay-Z to talk to him, and Beyonce again looked uncomfortable. Things were awkward, which again, I don't like when people do that either. But getting the context, you can see why she was leaning over in that moment to talk to Jay-Z. Okay. Now, she went over, after she got their orders, basically their drink orders, she went to go get them their drinks. She didn't find out later that there was an issue until she started, her phone, I guess, started just to blow up. All right. She was getting texts from all her friends, and she checked her social media, and she saw, of course, the Beyhive going off. You saw these little bees and all this other stuff. People were threatening her life. People were just doing too much. The same thing that they do every single time someone looks like they are saying something or doing something to their precious Beyonce. Okay. They overreact. My guess, I'm praying that the Beyhive is a bunch of 15 and 16-year-old girls. Okay, I pray that it ain't nobody over 20 really out here doing the most and threatening people. But all in all, that is the context of what happened between, this is, you see here, this is Joe Lacob. That's the Warriors owner. And as you can see here, she is a Beyonce stan. This is her. She loves Beyonce. So again, the Beyhive just do what they always do. They took it too far. So this woman basically started getting death threats, and she had to basically cut off her Instagram. She had to basically deactivate her Instagram because people was going crazy. As you can see here, it's just like doing too much. They was doing the most, like they always do. Look at that. Always, always, always. Just bees, bees, bees. These are the kind of messages that people were leaving on her Instagram, to the point where, again, she had to basically cut it off. And it's just, it really is a shame that she felt that she had to end up doing this. But I understand it. I understand. Then this woman said, just spoke to Nicole Curran, the wife of Warriors owner, about Beyonce last night. She was in tears. She said she'd been getting death threats on social media, and she disabled her IG account just to make it stop. Now, I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Beyonce ain't paying none of these crazy Beyhive people to act the way they act. She is not paying them a dime, and yet they continue to act a damn fool. And I don't understand it. I don't get why they act like that. It was ridiculous. Now look at this. People, when this started to happen, people pulled up some receipts, because first they was, of course, trying to defend Beyonce, like, oh, look at this little Becky trying to talk to him. Well, they pulled up a moment where Beyonce was having a conversation across Jay-Z as well. All right. And he looked uncomfortable. He looked like he didn't like it either. I just think that when people do that, like talk over somebody, it's just an uncomfortable position to be in anyway, where people are having a conversation over you. That's uncomfortable. So Beyonce's publicist had to basically come out saying, I'm looking back today at the start of the OT On the Run 2 tour 1 year ago. It was a place of joy, unimaginable entertainment from two of the best performers in the world, and a place of love. Every single day on the tour, I saw love, which is why I also want to speak here to the beautiful Beyhive. I know your love runs deep, but that love has to be given to every human. It will bring no joy to the person you love so much if you spew hate in her name. We love you. So here's my thing. I wish some of these celebrities, like Beyonce, would say something out of their own mouths when they see things like this happen. This has happened before, where people were bullied, harassed in the name of Beyonce. And I feel like in that moment, when Beyonce saw this was happening, she technically, some of these people act like they'll die for this woman. The fact that this publicist said anything is not going to really change the minds and the hearts of a lot of these rabid fans that Beyonce has. This is one of those moments where I feel like Beyonce, instead of posting pictures all the time of herself, and I'm sorry, Beyhive, don't come for me, but instead of doing all of that, Beyonce in that moment could shut them down and tell them to stop out of her own mouth. And I've seen this happen before when, again, they got in their feelings about something that somebody said or what they perceived somebody said about Beyonce, and they attacked these people. And she didn't say anything. And I'm just like, these celebrities have to start saying something to their rabid ass fans, because it's just ridiculous. Like I said, Beyonce ain't paying none of these folks to go hard for her, to lay down on some railroad tracks for her. So I don't understand why they go so hard. This is just ridiculous. And I've seen it, not just Beyonce. She's not the only one. Cardi, the Barty gang, the Barbs. A lot of these people have rabid fans who do the most and harass other people. Honestly, if I look back on Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, I think that the fans, their rabid fans, had they put their rabid fans in place, I think that these women would probably be okay. It's the fans a lot of times that get things out of control. So I feel like in this moment, as much as I do like Beyonce, I feel like she had a moment here where she could have put these people in their place. Just like a week ago or a week or so ago when Dionne Warwick had said something that the Beyhive didn't like, and they was dragging this old woman. Okay, I feel like Beyonce could have said something then. Why didn't her publicist say anything then? Because this woman just gave her opinion about Beyonce, and they dragged this old woman. This woman, they dragged her. They dragged her. And Beyonce didn't say anything then, and I never seem to understand why Beyonce doesn't just say something to calm her fans down when things like this happen. It really was very innocent in that moment. It really was. Now that the woman put it in context and she explained why she was talking to Jay-Z at that time. And let's be clear. This woman leaning over to talk to Jay-Z didn't stop him from cheating before. He cheated on Beyonce. Let's stop sitting here acting like her talking to him over Beyonce is cheating or something like that. Because let's be clear, Beyonce stayed. So all these fans of hers who sit here acting like they're protecting her honor, stop, because she stayed. There's no need. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do the most. She seems fine where she is. She ain't going nowhere. So please, please, please understand that Beyonce is not cutting any of you checks. And you don't need to be out here threatening people's lives, because eventually that's going to get real. And you're going to be mad when the FBI show up at your door because you out here threatening people over a whole lot of nothing. Again, leaning over people to talk while somebody's in the middle is awkward anyway. I hate that kind of stuff. But this was very uncalled for, and I wish Beyonce had spoken up